If you're a guy past 60 and you've been hearing all your life that piling on the veggies is the key to staying fit and full of life, I need you to stop for a second and really listen. What if I told you that some of those so-called healthy choices sitting in your fridge could actually be draining your drive, making you feel worn out, and even messing with your confidence in ways you never imagined? It's not just the years adding up. It's what you've been putting on your plate, thinking it was doing you good. Hi, I'm Dr. Mariah, a specialist in men's health with more than 3 decades helping fellows in their 60s, 70s, and even 80s get back their spark and strength without relying on bottles of pills. Time and again, I've seen that the real fixes come from everyday foods, not fancy prescriptions. Picture this: certain veggies, the ones everyone raves about for your heart, might be sneaking in compounds that throw off your body's natural balance, stiffen up your blood vessels, and stir up trouble down below. And the wild part, a lot of well-intentioned advice pushes them as superfoods. But today I'm flipping the script. I'll walk you through 3 overlooked gems, simple, everyday veggies that research shows can help shore up your vitality, support better flow where it counts, and keep you feeling like your old self in no time. Plus, if keeping your energy steady, your mood sharp, and your personal life lively matters to you, I'll point out 3 others you might want to ease up on starting today. And stick around, I've got a handy tip on prepping these foods to get the most bang for your buck, so you can keep going strong well into your later years. Once you hear this, your trips to the produce aisle will never feel the same. But before we dive in, if you're finding this eye-opening, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you catch every update on staying sharp and strong after 60. Drop a 1 in the comments if this resonates, or a 2 if there's something I can tweak to make these chats even more spot on for you. Let's jump right in with something that might catch you off guard. The first veggie that's often praised, but could be quietly sapping your stamina. Let me paint a picture for you with a real story from my practice. There was this 68-year-old guy named James, a former school principal who'd built a great life with his wife and stayed mentally quick as a whip. But when he walked into my office, he looked defeated. "Docky," he said, "everything else checks out fine. Heart's okay, cholesterol's a bit up, but I just don't have that pep anymore. I'm dragging by midday, and honestly, things in the bedroom, they're not what they used to be." We ran some tests, and while his heart looked solid, his body's main energy hormone was on the low side, and another hormone that usually stays lower in men was creeping up. That's when I asked about his eating habits. James beamed with pride. "Oh, I switched things up years ago on my heart doc's advice, cut back on red meat and dairy, started using tofu, soy milk, and those little green soybeans as snacks. Figured it was the smart, healthy move." Suddenly, it clicked: that first veggie to reconsider: anything soy-based. See, soy packs these natural plant compounds that act a lot like the body's softer hormone, the one more dominant in women. For guys in their 60s and beyond, when your natural drive hormone is already dipping a bit with age, adding stuff that mimics the other side can tip the scales the wrong way. In real life, that shows up as feeling more tired, less motivated, and sometimes trouble keeping things going strong when it matters. And soy sneaks in everywhere, not just obvious spots like tofu, but in snacks, bars, sauces, and even fake meats because it's cheap and gets that healthy stamp. The food world loves it for that, but your body knows better. James was skeptical at first, but he gave it a shot. We swapped in cleaner proteins like eggs, fish, or nuts instead. Within weeks, he was bouncing back, more zip in his step, and a month later, his wife slipped me a note saying, "You gave me my partner back." Now, am I saying soy's outright bad? Not at all. It's fine in moderation for some folks. But for men noticing a dip in energy or drive after 60, dialing it back can make a world of difference. And speaking of surprises, the next one hits even closer to home, hiding in plain sight in so many meals, and in its common form, it might be fueling a slow burning issue that tightens things up and slows you down. Think about Robert, a 62-year-old who'd always tried to do right by his health. He came to me worried sick, constant tiredness, achy joints, and yes, struggles with staying firm. "I'm eating better than ever," he insisted. Swap butter for veggie spreads made from plant oils, thinking it was protecting my heart. But things were getting worse, not better. The culprit here? Corn, but not the fresh ears you grill in summer. I'm talking the processed stuff like corn syrup in sodas, cornstarch in baked goods, and especially corn oil in margarines and fried foods. It's everywhere in our daily eats. Here's why it matters. Corn in these forms is loaded with a type of fat that, when you get too much, throws off your body's inner harmony. We need a mix of fats, some from plants like nuts and fish that calm things down, others that can rev up if they're out of whack. In today's world, we're drowning in the rev up kind from processed corn, sometimes 20 times more than the calming ones. That imbalance, it creates a quiet, ongoing irritation inside, like a smoldering ember that never fully dies out. Over time, this irritates the soft linings of your blood pathways, making them less flexible and cutting down on a key substance that keeps flow smooth and strong. Result: less efficient circulation to all parts, including where you need it for energy and intimacy, plus those nagging aches and even puffiness in sensitive areas. Studies from places like major nutrition journals back this up. Too much of these imbalanced fats links to stiffer vessels and lower vitality. For Robert, we flipped it. Cut out those hidden corn products, ramped up calming fats from salmon, walnuts, and quality oils. A month in, his joints eased, he woke up refreshed, and he started noticing that morning readiness he'd missed for years. The lesson: scan those labels. If you spot corn oil or syrup high up, it might be worth swapping. This isn't about ditching corn on the cob. It's about dodging the sneaky processed versions that could be holding you back. Now, onto the third sneaky one, a favorite in salads and shakes that might be robbing you of something vital for keeping your edge. Meet William, a 67-year-old who loved hitting the pavement for runs and thought he was fueling right with big green smoothies packed with fresh spinach every morning. I'm loading up on nutrients, he'd say, but his tests told a different tale. Low on a key mineral for drive, and his overall pep was fading, especially in the romance department. The issue wasn't spinach itself. It's got great stuff like vitamins, but eating it raw in huge amounts. Raw spinach has these natural binders that latch onto important minerals in your gut and whisk them away before your body can use them. One big one it grabs, zinc, which is like fuel for maintaining your natural strength hormone and keeping things balanced down there. Without enough, you feel off, less drive, more fatigue. Research from health studies shows how these binders, called oxalates, can block absorption, especially if you're chugging raw greens daily. But here's the good news: cooking changes everything. A quick steam or saute breaks down those binders, letting your body soak up the good stuff. William switched to cooked spinach in eggs or stir fries, and soon his levels climbed, his runs felt easier, and that spark returned. Spinach is awesome, just not raw overloads if you're aiming to keep your minerals on point. All right, we've covered the potential troublemakers: soy for its hormone mimicking tricks, processed corn for stirring up that inner unrest, and raw spinach for tying up your zinc. But let's shift to the bright side: 3 powerhouse veggies that can help build you back up, supporting flow balance and protection in ways backed by solid research. These aren't rare finds. They're in most stores, often overlooked because they're so ordinary. First up, beets, the ultimate booster for getting things moving smoothly again. Remember James feeling like his system lacked oomph? Beets are nature's fix. They're bursting with natural compounds that your body turns into a helper that relaxes and widens blood pathways, letting everything flow freer. It's like unkinking a hose so water blasts through. A study in a top nutrition journal found that beet juice can ease pressure in vessels and improve their health, leading to better circulation overall. But prep matters. Skip the canned or pickled kinds. They lose a lot of that magic in processing, and the added salt or vinegar can work against you. Go fresh, roast lightly, steam, or grate into salads. Add them a few times a week, and you might notice more steady energy and that vital responsiveness returning. Next, hero broccoli, your ally for keeping hormones in check and calming the system. It's not just about boosting one thing, it's about clearing out extras that drag you down. Broccoli has a special compound that helps your liver sweep away unneeded hormones, reduces that quiet irritation, and supports prostate comfort, key for guys over 60. Science from cancer research centers highlights how this compound fights off imbalances that build with age. The trick? Don't overcook it. Microwaving or boiling too long zaps the power, leaving just basic fiber. Steam for 3-4 minutes to keep it crisp, or chop and eat raw in small bits with a dip. Robert, who was steaming his wrong, switched up and felt his fog lift, his nights more restful, and his overall vibe stronger. It's a small habit tweak that pays off big, turning a simple side into a daily defender. And our third champion's everyday mushrooms, like the white buttons you see everywhere, these aren't just toppers, they're guardians for your strength. As we get older, a natural process ramps up that converts your drive hormone into something less useful, especially if there's a bit of extra around the middle. Mushrooms step in with compounds that slow that conversion, keeping more of your good stuff active for energy, focus, and muscle tone. Labs like those at respected institutes have tested this, showing white buttons can act as natural blockers. Saute them with garlic and a dash of oil a couple times weekly, like William did, and he found his competitive fire reigniting, deeper voice, steadier mood, that assured feeling he hadn't had in a decade. Mushrooms make it easy to protect what you've got. To wrap this all up with a bow, here's that extra nudge I promised, a lesser known mineral that amps up your usable strength, boron. It helps loosen a protein that locks away your drive hormone, freeing it up for action. Studies show even small amounts can make a difference in energy and mood. No need for pills. Get it from raisins, dates, or avocados. Toss a handful into your day, and it enhances everything else. There you have it. Steer clear of soy overloads, processed corn hidden fats, and raw spinach mineral traps while embracing fresh beets for flow, lightly cooked broccoli for balance, and mushrooms for protection. These aren't quick fixes, but real food-based ways to feel vital again. If this hits home, share and comment your thoughts. I read them all and use them to shape more content. Pass it to a buddy over 60. It could spark real change. Subscribe and bell on for more. Let's redefine aging on our terms. Thanks for tuning in. You're part of this journey. Gentlemen over 60, listen up, because this could change how you feel every day. If you're dealing with low energy, trouble staying sharp, or moments when your body just doesn't respond like it used to, it might not be age alone. What if some everyday foods you've been told are good for you are actually working against your strength and drive? I'm Dr. Mariah, with over 30 years helping men like you reclaim their vitality through simple, natural changes. No drugs, just smarter choices from your kitchen. Today, I'll share straightforward facts on foods that could be holding you back, and others that science shows can help restore your edge, support better circulation, and keep your hormones steady. But here's the shocker: one vegetable in most fridges right now might be quietly blocking a key nutrient you need for that inner fire. Stick around. I'll reveal it in a minute, plus the 3 simple swaps that turn things around for my patients fast. Now, before we get into that, imagine waking up with more pep, feeling confident again, and knowing it's from foods you can grab at any store. That's what we're aiming for here. No complicated diets, just clear steps backed by research. If this sounds like what you need, subscribe and hit the bell to catch more tips on staying strong past 60. Comment ICE if you're ready to learn, or maybe if you want me to cover something specific next. Let's start with a story that hits home for many guys I see. Take Frank, a 65-year-old mechanic who retired but couldn't enjoy it. He dragged through afternoons, joints ached, and intimacy with his wife felt like a distant memory. Tests showed his heart was fine, but his body's main strength signal was weak and inflammation markers were up. When I asked about meals, he mentioned loading up on salads with lots of fresh greens, thinking it was the healthy thing. Turns out one green in particular, raw spinach, was part of the problem. Spinach is packed with good stuff like vitamins, but when eaten raw in big amounts, it has natural compounds called oxalates that grab onto zinc in your gut and flush it out before your body can use it. Zinc is crucial for keeping your drive levels up and your prostate comfortable. Without enough, you feel tired, foggy, and off balance. Studies from nutrition experts confirm oxalates can cut zinc absorption by up to half, and low zinc links directly to lower vitality in older men. Frank was downing raw spinach smoothies daily, robbing himself of this essential mineral. We switched him to lightly cooked spinach. Steaming for a few minutes breaks down those oxalates, letting zinc soak in. Within weeks, his energy picked up and he reported feeling more like himself. It's not about ditching spinach, it's about prepping it right to get the benefits without the downside. Shifting gears, let's talk about something sneaky in many processed snacks and oils that could be fueling quiet body-wide irritation, stiffening your vessels, and slowing things down where you need good flow. I'm referring to overdoing omega-6 fats from things like corn oil and margarines, chips, and ready-made foods. These fats aren't evil on their own. Your body needs some, but in today's eats, we get way too many compared to calming omega-3s from fish or nuts. That tilt sparks low-level inflammation, like a constant hum that wears on your artery walls, reducing their flex and cutting nitric oxide, the stuff that keeps blood moving smoothly. Research in heart journals ties this imbalance to tighter vessels and even links to fatigue or performance dips in men. Meet Tom, 62, a former truck driver who came in frustrated, always worn out, knees sore, and worried about his bedroom life fading. He'd swapped butter for corn-based spreads years ago for heart health, but it backfired. His inflammation tests were high and flow wasn't optimal. We cut those hidden omega-6 sources, added salmon twice a week for omega-3 balance, and focused on whole foods. A month later, his joints eased, mornings felt brighter, and he noticed better responsiveness. Check labels. If corn oil or syrup is near the top, swap for olive oil or avocados. Balance is key. Aim for equal parts calming fats to keep inflammation low and energy high. One more to watch: foods that mimic softer hormones and might tip your natural balance if overdone. Soy products like tofu or milk have plant compounds